So a couple of weeks ago, I made a video about not pre-ordering Call of Duty Cold War. I made the video on the day that the trailer dropped for the game, so there was no actual gameplay out. So that video is a little outdated at this point. Honestly, it was kind of outdated once the 26th happened, so I've decided to, I guess, make a sequel to that video. I don't want to say sequel as in like, please don't buy it still. I kind of want to give my secondary reaction to it after seeing the gameplay and whatnot. And, maybe those of you who have seen the video that I already made a few weeks ago, I'll drop a card to it, by the way, and a little picture, I guess, right here of the thumbnail for it. Maybe those of you who have seen that video and are coming from the video to this video will kind of have a different change of mindset in regards to what at least I think. Maybe you will have a different opinion on the whole thing at the end of this video. So let's just kind of get right into it. So I would imagine that basically every single one of you guys knows that the Call of Duty multiplayer reveal for Cold War came out yesterday. As of recording, this is the 10th. I'm hoping to have this video up by tonight. So as of recording, I am one day after the multiplayer reveal. I'm going to throw up the gameplay, which you're probably looking at right now, that was from the multiplayer reveal, so that you guys can kind of get a much better feel for what I'm going to be talking about in this video. And it kind of doesn't make sense for me to throw up my usual gameplay of like Left 4 Dead or some other game that I usually toss up on my channel. I think that having the multiplayer up right in front of you will give you guys a much better and much clearer view of what I'm trying to get across. So a big portion of the do not pre-order Call of Duty Cold War video that I created a few weeks ago included, you guys have no idea how good it's going to be, you have no idea if you're going to like it, blah, blah, blah. A lot of that kind of got cleared up with the multiplayer reveal, and on top of that, the people who pre-ordered the game already, which a majority of the people who watched that video had already done, will get to be able to experience the beta before anybody else does, before the open beta comes out. So if you guys check out the beta and actually have a feel for it, those of you who have pre-ordered, obviously, definitely let me know what you guys think of it in the comments. I would love to fucking know exactly what you guys think of this entire situation. But like I said, I'm just going to comment on everything that's happened so far as of the last day. So I think the one thing that caught my eye immediately right off the bat was the fact that the game has a Call of Duty Black Ops 4 vibe to it. I think a lot of you guys got the same vibe, but that's not inherently a bad thing. I think it kind of makes sense for Black Ops Cold War to kind of have that Black Ops 4 vibe, just because that was last Black Ops that Treyarch made, and it kind of makes sense for the assets to, I guess, get ported over or updated, considering the mindset of Call of Duty Black Ops 4 is still relatively recent. So I wouldn't imagine that the entirety of Cold War would be totally like reinvented from the ground up. I think what would have been a better idea, though, is to go back to Call of Duty Black Ops 1 and use the kind of characteristics that that game has, the more ancient looking create a class menu and whatnot and lobby menu. But it is the year 2020, so I wouldn't imagine that they would want to go for something so rustic looking, even though it would have fit the game a lot better in my opinion. A few positives I want to say about the game are, it looks like killing people in the game looks fairly solid. I don't think it looks like unrewarding, if that makes any sense. I don't really know exactly how to portray that in words, but hopefully you guys understand what I'm talking about. And with the gameplay that's up on the screen right now, I would imagine that you guys could probably get a fairly decent feel about what I'm saying. So the killing looks pretty solid. The guns have a kind of snappy feel to them that caught me off guard super quickly. That's one of the things that kind of bothered me. I don't like how the game looks so unbelievably snappy. Now, the thing about it is this game is still in alpha. There's no beta yet, obviously. There's not going to be an actual massive amount of people testing out the game, so I wouldn't imagine that everything is going to stay exactly the same as of right now, but these are just my comments on the current state of the video game. There's something strange about the movement in Black Ops Cold War. There are clips where some of the live streamers that were playing ended up getting on the back of a snowmobile or any kind of vehicle like that, and the turning radius on it was like dime worthy, like super sharp turning, which obviously isn't realistic. And again, this is a video game, but there's just something strange to me about the snappiness of everything. The reload animations are pretty slow, but they don't look like they're insanely boring. I would kind of wish that there was a little bit more feel to them and a little bit more impact to each movement. They're very clearly trying as hard as they can to make the game as close to this era of the Cold War. They tried to make it not as futuristic as Black Ops 2, but more futuristic than Black Ops 1, which of course is their main goal in the entire thing. But I think that the stuff with Black Ops 4, if you look at any kind of create a class menu or just the lobby menu before they get into games, or even the HUD, there's so much of this Black Ops 4 feel to it that if you guys didn't get that vibe, I'm sure you guys have by now, just looking at the gameplay that I have up on the screen. Again, I kind of wish that they went back to the Black Ops 1 like rustic look. I don't think it really fits the time period, honestly. I feel like everything about the game feels futuristic, which is weird to say about a game that's supposed to take place between 1980 and 1985. I'm not really sure that's going to deter people from purchasing the game. I don't think that that's a really good reason to deter people from purchasing it or even pre-ordering it for that matter, but that was something that felt super, super awkward to me. It didn't really feel right. It didn't feel like it properly portrayed the Cold War era. It kind of looks like a game that would come out with the time period of today. And by time period of today, I mean like 2020. It looks like something that would come out around now or maybe even in the future. But considering the time period is 40 years ago, again, it doesn't really feel that way. Again, I might just be nitpicking at this point, but honestly, I'm assuming that a lot of other people got the same vibe because looking over the live stream that was happening yesterday, there's a lot of people saying that they weren't wasting their money on the game and that the game looked awkward to play. So I'm assuming that at least a few other people understand where I'm coming from. There was one specific thing about this game that I couldn't put my finger on when I first saw it. It was super confusing to me. Originally, they were playing on Miami, which kind of gave it the proper time period feel, but there was something about the game and the look of everything that was like throwing me off guard. I couldn't really put my finger on it. I was super, super confused. It looked so much like a different game that it almost didn't look like Call of Duty for a minute. I'm not going to say that it was like not fucking Call of Duty at all, but it did feel so awkward. I couldn't understand what was going on with the game like in this regard. I felt so awkward watching it, but it wasn't until that they got onto the map Satellite where I was like, Jesus Christ. This is Star Wars Battlefront mixed with Battlefield 1. It totally connected at that point. Black Ops Cold War looks so much like a mixture of both of those games, especially on this map, that I literally couldn't get it out of my fucking mind. And at this point, for those of you watching, I would imagine that you probably got a very clear idea of what I'm trying to say right now. It feels so weird that it just kind of ended up giving me, again, a futuristic feel. That was the reason why it felt futuristic, even though it was trying so hard not to be. It just looked like Star Wars Battlefront. I couldn't get my mind off of it. It was like the biggest pet peeve that I had about the entire thing. Again, I don't think that that's going to be a thing that deters people from purchasing it. However, that was something that stuck out to me like a fucking sore thumb. And if any of you guys got the same vibe, then definitely let me know because I very much did. As for my overall thoughts about the game, I don't necessarily think it's going to be bad. I don't think the game is going to be awful. I didn't really think in my do not pre-order Cold War video that the game was going to be like totally fucking trash. Like I thought it was going to be disappointing because of the hype, but after watching the multiplayer gameplay, I don't really think I would necessarily be disappointed, but I think it would just kind of be like more of a meh. I don't know. I don't think that the game is going to be this groundbreaking, oh my God, we're going back to original Call of Duty. Like this is what it is. This is where we're coming from. I don't necessarily think that it's going to ever get back to that state. However, in the current state that it is in, I don't think it's going to be awful. I'm still not pre-ordering it if that's what you're looking for. I am still not going to pre-order this game. I don't think it's worth my $70 for next-gen consoles. So if you're planning on getting the most expensive version, like let's say you're getting the Xbox Series X, $500 plus the 70, unless they do a bundle with Black Ops, which they probably will, that's still a lot of fucking money out of your pocket. If anything, it's probably better off that you just get the bundle so that you probably don't have to spend the extra 70 for the game, unless they chalk up the prices or something like that. I'm not necessarily too sure. I bought my Xbox One X with like every single Gears of War game, and it was only $350. It was still the sale price when I first got it. So if they take that kind of route, then I definitely think Call of Duty Cold War is going to be worth it. If you pick up a next-gen console as a bundle with Cold War, then I think the game is 100% worth it. However, if you're buying it for $70, I still can't see the argument that this game is going to be worth $70. There's nothing really that justifies $70 of your money gone. That's like, guys, that's a lot of money. $70 for one singular video game is a huge amount of money. I'm not necessarily trying to drop almost $100 on a video game that is also going to have a battle pass, I would imagine, and other things that I'm going to want to spend more money on, or at least be influenced to spend more money on if you saw my battle pass sucks video. I don't necessarily think it's worth the extra $10 jump. That's so much fucking money for a video game. I already don't think most video games are worth $60. So to have this jump to 70 and not really see a justification for it is very confusing to me. I don't really understand why they're increasing the price. If you guys do know why, then definitely let me know in the comments. Overall, it kind of just feels like the game hasn't really matured any much more than the games in the past. I think that going back to this boots on the ground Black Ops is obviously a very, very good idea. I think having the sequel to Black Ops 1 is a fantastic idea, and I absolutely support it. But again, I don't see the justification for spending $70 on a game that really isn't changing changing all that much. It feels and looks like a normal Call of Duty game, obviously disregarding the fact that it looks like Battlefront. And Black Ops 4, but I just can't sit here and tell you guys, hey, it's worth 70 bucks, because I don't even think it's worth that. I would hesitate to spend 60 bucks on a game, let alone 70. So you guys can do what you want with that information. I'm gonna link an article in the description so you guys understand all the new stuff that's coming to the game, in case that you guys are wondering what is new. So I'm gonna link an article down below by Polygon so you guys can check out what's new. So if you want to read that, there you guys go. Let me know your thoughts on everything in the comments. Like I said, I would really like to understand where everybody else is coming from in this regard. I'm not going to buy the game until it's on sale. I don't know about you guys. If you guys do decide to pre-order the game or buy it at full price, which I guess at that point you should just pre-order the game if you're going to buy it at full price, definitely let me know how the beta is. Let me know what you guys think of the entire thing, and just essentially keep me updated on how Cold War is feeling, how Cold War is, maybe whether or not it's worth your money. If you guys like this video, then give it a like. If you disliked it, then dislike it. If you did like it, however, then why not subscribe? My channel has been growing like crazy, and I absolutely love the fact that you guys are so vocal in the comments. Being able to talk to you guys about everything that's going on in these videos and going on in the world or in gaming news is probably the coolest fucking thing that's happened to me. So I absolutely love the fact that you guys are so vocal about everything, which is why I encourage commenting. And if you disagree with what I'm saying, or if you agree with what I'm saying, again, let me know. And after everything, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. See you later.